Rejecting vulnerability submissions, well, some of them aren't vulnerabilities. If you look at a holistic view of security, there are best practices. And sometimes you may have a piece of code in an application that isn't a best practice, but it's not an exploitable vulnerability. When we talk about exploitable vulnerabilities, we talk about a loss of confidentiality, integrity, or availability. So what does that mean? It means that when I exploit a potential vulnerability, there must be some loss of confidentiality, integrity, or availability within the application or within a extended scope, right? The underlying operating system in which the web application is running, and so on. So if you have a vulnerability submission and you are not able to demonstrate this loss of confidentiality, integrity, or availability, then it might be rejected. Another reason is because it's a theoretical vulnerability. So like, for example, you may have a function within the application that generates a random number. And if you have access to that random number, you can gain access to the web application, or let's say administrator access. However, the generation of this random number might be infeasible, or guessing that random number might be infeasible. You may have to send millions upon millions upon millions of requests to guess that number correctly. So let's just say you have an endpoint that will return a response if the random number is correct. So let's say you get a true versus a false. You're writing a script and you're guessing this random number, so you have a bunch of guesses and it keeps going false, false, false. Let's say you have to do that and it's gonna take you years to guess the number correctly. So we call this an infeasible attack. It would just take too much time for an attacker to leverage. Now, in many of these cases, the application can be improved, right? So let's say the random number that's generated is like 4 alphanumeric characters or 5 or something like that. It may not be ideal. We go back to this best practices notion. It may be ideal for that developer to increase the entropy because the impact is gaining administrator access, right? In that particular instance, I think that you can look at this as a best practice. It's not actually exploitable. It's not feasible to exploit in the real world.